Bwah! I'm going to drain your wallet. Yeah, that was lame. Welcome to Poncho's Palace, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at one of NECA's most recent drops for the new year of 2023, and that's going to be their Ultimates Count Dracula and their Universal Monsters line, which is one that I think a lot of folks have been waiting for. Not just to complete, of course, the Universal Monsters line, but I mean Count Dracula is very iconic, and not just horror, but you're talking about, I mean, it's almost any genre. So anyways, he comes in your typical Ultimates box, as you can see, with promotional images on left, right, back of the box. And one thing I do love is that they always slap on the OG poster there at the front. So it's kind of tough whether you want to open this bad boy up and keep him out or leave him in the box. So sometimes you just got to double up.
Two at once?
And then you can flip this open just like your Ultimates, typical Ultimates box, and you got a little peep at the figure itself. So anyways, let's take Senor Count Dracula off of his cardboard coffin and see what he comes with in terms of accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at the man himself. Alright, so let's take a look at the Count's array of accessories. So these are the hands that he comes with right out the box. He comes with 5 total hands. This is his right and this is his left. And if you look here, it's pretty cool that they threw in the ring for his ring finger. That's his pimp hand. So when he's got to slap the haters, they're more like spread out hands for when he's gonna compose or he's gonna go and suck your blood. Now his second pair, very similar. The only difference that I could tell is that these are a little bit more spread out, just a tad bit more spread out. So for example, his ring hand, the pinky and the ring finger, a little bit more spread out on this hand than they are on this guy. And this one you got to take more of a deeper look to it, but yeah, the fingers on this one are a little bit more spread out than they are on this guy. Then he comes with this hand here and this one here. Hopefully you guys can make out the detail on these hands. They're pretty good, especially the ring finger. This one here is meant to hold the candle. So that little loop there, you just go ahead and place it in between those 2 top fingers and voila, right on camera. Pretty simple. And the candle has a nice texture to it where the steel is at. And it definitely looks like a metallic paint job. And you got the candle up here with the candle wax dripping down. There's definitely a little bit of shading, and then you got the molded plastic for the fire here. It's not clear or anything, or like a clear acrylic or anything. It's just a molded plastic. And he does come with 2 wine cups, not wine glasses, because you can tell they're painted in that stainless steel. And then you have the wine right inside, poured and ready in that glossy burgundy paint. And because he has wine, he also has to come with voila, the wine bottle. I don't know what the significance of that logo is. If you do, put it in the comment section below. But yeah, here's for when he's serving up wine. My man doesn't drink wine, but he can serve it up. And he comes with this serving plate. So nice little metallic sheen to it as well, with the weathering of the black. It's pretty cool. And then of course you just, apologies for my shaking, but you can just voila, serve them up a platter or 2. And these are cool because these can be used as universal accessories. He also comes with his bat. And of course he converts into a bat for when he's being a creep and peeping into women's windows. About to convert them. And they did a good job. Look at the sculpt work. You can tell this is fur for sure. Fur for sure. And I don't know if you can make it out, but there's definitely like different tones of grays at the top, and especially at the bottom. And then they painted his limbs that gray color, the tail, and his face. Make out his teeth and the reds for his eyes and his mouth. So now he does, this bat here comes with its own peg, which is neat that they did that. It's pretty cool that they did that, peg and stand. It doesn't articulate or anything. It's just a regular peg and stand. Just do be careful. My rookie ass. So what I did is I held it down here and I tried to peg it on without realizing that I'm gonna stress the heck out of it. So I did stress it because I bent it. That's how it happens. So it's best just to hold it from the tip here and peg it on. Sorry for this going out of focus a lot. But yeah, it doesn't feel like it's going in all the way, but it's actually not bad. So it holds on pretty dang well. All right, taking a look at his head sculpt. So he does come with a total of 3 head sculpts. This is the one he comes with right out the box, and I must say, I think they did a pretty dang good job. He does strike a good resemblance to the actor Bela Lugosi. So yeah, the face printing technology is definitely there. You can tell by the pixelated on the pixels on the eyeballs. So that's this one here. It's more of like a smiling, smirking face. Then he also has his more angry face. And these head sculpts, definitely the sculpting department did a good job. There's definitely gloss paint across the hair, as you can see through the shines. It's just jet black, but I like that they gave us the glossy hits around the hair. So I don't mind the jet black. I think for Dracula it's supposed to be jet black. There's no, I'm not opposed to it having like gray hits or whatnot, or different tones of the blacks. The teeth, you can make out the teeth details there. Yeah, pretty cool. And it's cool because they also gave them the moles. At certain angles you can tell the moles depending on the lighting. And then this is his third head sculpt. So this is more of his smoldering head sculpt. Now the one thing I do wish, and I've seen this in promotional images, so this is probably my only slight gripe, is that looking at some images from the movie, he does have more of wider, I guess, spread out eyeballs, if that makes sense. So his eyes are a little bit more open, in other words. And I was looking at the promotional images of the figure, and the promotional images do look like they have wider eyeballs. But if you have this figure in hand, you'll see what I mean. They don't look like his eyes. His eyes don't look like they're that wide open. I'm not sure why, but I was thinking that he should come with a head sculpt that has wider eyes. And apparently this was the one in promotional images that looked that way, but when you get it in hand, it doesn't. Maybe because of the shading or the print technology that they use. I'm not sure. But anyways, those are his accessories. Oh, last one. Can't believe I forgot this. This comes separate, so you can consider this as an accessory as well. This is his cape. It's just it's nice droopy material. It's actually pretty. I don't want to say heavy, but it's not like cheap quality. I like what they used. I like the cape quality that they used. Like you can definitely feel like look how it droops. So no different color tones. It's just all jet black. And then this is the collar piece here to mimic cloth, of course, and the collar. But it's all just jet black as well. All right, let's take a look at the Count and see what he has to bring. And bing, bang, boah! Here he is, the Count in all his glory. I slapped the cape on him just so that way y'all can see how he looks with the cape. And it's something about when you put the cape on this NECA Dracula, just makes him look so dang legit. Yeah, NECA did a great job, and I didn't expect anything less from Dracula himself. But yeah, check this out. So let's take a deeper look at him. So we took a look at his face, his head sculpt, of course. But going down, let me take the cape off. The cape is pretty easy to lift off or remove. Just literally goes in and out. The only thing I would be afraid of, but it's not that terrible. But any scratching of any paint. But I don't foresee that happening. Anyways, so as you can see, the sculpting department is definitely unlocked all across the figure. And by unlocked, I mean they definitely gave this guy so much detail. From his slacks, his trousers, you can see like the wrinkles going down. I'm hoping that the video is able to make it out, but there's definitely like some I want to say weathering, but some dry brushing of different tones of darker, blacks and lighter blacks or grays. The pants themselves have a mixture of matte and glossy paintwork, which is pretty damn dope. You can even see that like pinstripe on the side, for example. It's all glossy, but then you'll see some glossiness across the pants itself. And then the shoes, of course, have to be them nice glossy hits with the stitching on them. So yeah, they did a good job with the detail of this figure. Here's his coat, his tail of this coat. Same thing. This is made of more of a softer rubber material, but again, a mixture of that matte and glossiness all across the figure. You can tell kind of that the harder plastic pieces have a little bit more glossiness to them, and that's just probably because of the material that it's made out of. But I think they did a good job still with the softer pieces around him. The buttons have that glossy paint job, and then the handkerchief on his left there, the collar for his coat, and then looking at his undershirt. So I'm hoping that the camera can make this out as well. Let me see if I can get the vest there. Nah, it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but the vest there definitely has some sheens to it as well. So it's not just flat matte white. It actually has kind of like a pearlish sheen to it. Pretty neat. I like that. And then the buttons on the vest as well, with the little straps to keep the coat. I'm assuming, I'm not sure. Well, of course, you can't really tell where those straps are going. Those are the metal chains. And you got the white undershirt. You got the emblem there for his necklace, the red, and then his tie. Yeah, they did a really good job. And again, I didn't expect any less from NECA when it comes down to their figures. They usually knock it out the park with the sculpting and the paint department, and then the striking resemblance of the actor himself. Now going into the articulation, let's take a look at the articulation. So his head is definitely on a ball joint. You can remove it if you lift it. I mean, you can definitely see the ball joint in there. But the cool thing is that he also has a ball joint up, so he has articulation at where the head meets the neck, and then you peg this in. It's a little tricky to peg that in. You guys heard that. And then of course he has extra articulation for the bottom of his neck, which is dope because it allows you to look really good when he's looking down, and then when he's looking up. And I don't know if you noticed, but because of the two pegs there, he has this like a natural movement to him. So I like this choice of articulation for the head and the neck. And his arms, so his arms do go up that much, so 90 degrees to strike a T-pose, as he should, because he does that again. He does only have a single jointed elbow that strikes more, that bends just a tad bit more than 90 degrees. And then, of course, his hands have the peg and that hinge design to him. So it does rotates all the way around, and then just moves up and down. And that's for both hands. He doesn't have, at least I can't move him. This material on his shirt, his collar shirt underneath, is a rubbery material, and I know that because when you bend his head down, it kind of caves in, if you notice that. So I would think that there is some kind of joint underneath, like for his diaphragm or his upper torso, but definitely can't move anything around. His waist is where all the movement comes from when you're moving anything when it comes down to his upper torso. But as you can see, he doesn't move back because the rubbery coat is going to get in the way, so he kind of just bounces back and bends forward that much. His legs go up that amount. Just looks kind of weird because his crotch, it's that NECA typical crotch design that they do with the covering. It just lifts up like that. Look, he's got a bulge. And he's gonna do the splits. Yep, he can do a pretty dang good splits. Single jointed knee, looks like exactly 90 degrees. And his ankles goes down that amount, goes up not much at all, and decent pivoting. Alrighty, that's it for his articulation. Let's size him up with some of his comrades, his other Universal Monster comrades, and some other figures and other lines. Alright, so let's size him up real quick before we do some toy comparisons. So he looks to be about 7 1/4 of an inch, which is about 18 centimeters plus. So first comparison we got is Street Gomez here from Mesco, the 1/12 line. And this is Jada Toys' Creature from the Black Lagoon. This is the one I've been looking forward to because it's cool to have two different companies out there that do the Universal Monsters and two different scales. So this is more 6-inch, where this is more 7-inch. And for those that do 6 inches, this might be more down your alley. Whereas I'm going to stick with the 7-inch scale, not because of the 7-inch scale in particular, it's because I prefer NECA's look and style to their horror line. Here he is with Hasbro's G.I. Joe classified Sergeant Slaughter and Marvel Legends Hugh Jackman Wolverine Logan, which I believe to be a Amazon exclusive, or was an Amazon exclusive now. Here he is with some of NECA's other figures. So we got the Conjuring Universe's Crooked Man to the left, and the first Yautja to ever be presented to us on screen, the Jungle Predator to the right. Here we have some McFarlane figures. So we got the Mortal Kombat 11 Liu Kang to the left, and the deluxe Spawn with Throne to the right. Wouldn't it be dope if the next Mortal Kombat iteration had some Universal OG monsters in it? I mean, I'm just saying. So this is a good look. Here are some more NECA. So we got the Terminator from the very first movie, and then we got Mikey from the first TMNT movie. And last, but definitely not least, here are some of the other NECA Universal horror monsters that I've released. So we got from left to right the Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, and the Mummy. And I gotta say, these look amazing together. I can't wait for more of these figures to come out, so that way I can keep building this OG Universal theme. Alright, so to wrap things up, in conclusion, do I like this figure? I mean, yes, I do. Anything NECA does as of recently has been great with their, especially, with their Ultimates line. The paint department, the sculpting department, they usually lock those two down. And if you lock those two down, I mean, you're going to have yourself a great figure. And I'm saying that because the articulation obviously isn't like SH Fig Arts or an import. The articulation, however, is more than enough. It suffices for a character like Dracula. So overall, we got ourselves a great figure. Do I recommend this? Yes, I do. You can be a figure collector, or you can be a fan of the horror franchise or the horror lines. It doesn't matter who you are. This figure will look good on anybody's shelf. Now let's speak price point for real quick. This figure goes now around the $40 to $45 price tag. Hate me for saying this, but I think it is about time NECA ups their prices.
What?
Yeah, again, my wallet hurts as well. But I only say that because, in my opinion, and I don't know if you'll agree with me or not, I feel like NECA has always been delivering great quality and great presentation with their products. So take this one as an example. Great box, great presentation, the artwork, the figure, the cloth goods, the accessories, the paint. I mean, they've been doing this for quite a long time, and I don't know how they've escaped by only charging us $30 to $35 back in the days. So it is about time that NECA does up their prices, because I felt like they've always been giving us quality product. So don't hate me for saying that, but aside from that, if you like this video, give it a like. Just hit that like button. If you have any feedback for me, if you disagree with what I just said, drop that in the comment section below. Aside from that though, if you like this kind of content, think about subscribing, as I'm going to do this in the long run. I'm a big collector myself. I collect these figures. I collect tons of other things. So yeah, why not think about subscribing? Other than that, this is Pancho from Pancho's Palace, signing out.